turns go. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Jesse Parker did say he only has gone against one single Lugia so far. Did take the win against it, but this will only be the second Lugia match he's competing against so far throughout this entire tournament.
Yes, and now he's up against probably one of the best Lugia players. Looking at their prizes here, something of note, one electric generator prize there. That's something you definitely want. You want to accelerate energy. In this type of matchup, you want to be as fast as possible. For Rahul Reddy though, a Lugia, a boss, a couple of DTEs, nothing too notable as we start off our top 8 here at the Pittsburgh Regional Championship.
Absolutely, Wancho. Let's get into this. Jesse Parker is going to be going first here. Miraidon EX being the active Pokemon, and guess what? That means we're hopping straight into Tandem Unit. Easy choice here for Jesse.
Definitely. Tandem Unit, Battle VIP Pass in an ability anytime you want. That's why this Miraidon deck is just so consistent. Well, it's so consistent on the very first couple of turns when you have to set up. Next question is, what can he find? Something that could be an option here is you could tandem unit into another Miraidon and have another activation. Maybe set up a couple Mareep, get your Raikou, which is an easy early attacker. Your Raichu is your late game attacker.
Yeah.
A lot of options here. Let's see what Jesse decides to set up. Again, there's the Miraidon and the Mareep, but we're going back in.
Yeah, absolutely. Another electric Battle VIP Pass, I suppose you could say. So we talked about this matchup, at least on paper, but what are the things that Rahul is going to be looking to do to actually win this matchup against all of these big lightning-type attackers?
So we're the thing is here, these are multiple prize Pokemon. They're just going to be hitting each other back and forth. Miraidon hitting into Lugia, Lugia hitting into Miraidon, Tyranitar into Miraidon, all that. So it's a matter of being able to hit first or being able to weave in at least a single prize attacker. And that's something what Rahul has access to. He does have access to the single strike Stonjourner. And again, that single strike Stonjourner is a fighting type Pokemon. That means you're hitting for weakness and only giving up one prize.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what Jesse was kind of fearing, knowing that Stonjourner is utilized within this matchup, but hopefully can play around it and have a nice, easy time against this Lugia V-STAR
Here
deck.
we go. Electric Generator being played now. Very powerful card. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. If you find any electric energy, you can attach up to 2 to your bench. Very powerful. Very good way to accelerate energy early on.
Absolutely. Huge shuffle there. I think we already whiffed one, so this is actually going to be the second one. Only a single lightning energy here. I cannot believe we missed the whiff. I was like, wow, this is such a big shuffle, but no, yeah, that doesn't make any sense to be shuffling, I guess, after you played an electric generator, unless you just completely whiff the energy. So that's kind of unfortunate, but still gets one energy down with that second electric generator. But, you know, you can only play 4 of one copy in a deck. So gonna have to pull out some more electric generators and hopefully not whiff anymore.
Yeah, we know for a fact 1 is at least prize, so Jesse only has access to 1 more in the deck. Do we see at least an energy attachment for a turn? So no, just the electric generator for the energy attachment there.
Yeah,
it's just as if you attached it yourself manually without any fancy tools.
Yes, absolutely, exactly. And I mean, there's 14 lightning energy as well, so to miss that is kind of rough here. No attachment for turn for Jesse Parker in the first turn. We're over here on Rahul Reddy's side of the field now, starting off with a Capturing Aroma. Looks like it rolled for an evolution Pokemon, so rolling a heads off of that Capturing Aroma to grab an Archeops out. Let's see if there's a way to discard it, but Mesagoza is going to come into play here as the stadium for Rahul Reddy.
Yeah, looking at Rahul's hand, though, it does have the research. So
nice.
Heads here with the Mesagoza means he gets to find any Pokemon he wants. Could opt to maybe find the Lumineon, use the Burnet, but no, you actually need to set up a second Lugia here as well, just because you're fighting against electric Pokemon who is ready, they're almost ready to hit. Opts to find an Archeops, so probably signifying a professor's research in the near future. But yeah, let's see what else they can do here. They need to, again, set up a second Lugia, which they do have in the hand. They also have an energy attachment for a turn. They could attach the V-Guard energy, maybe make it a little bit tougher for the Raikou to get the knockout. And I don't think there's anything else in the hand. Big research here. Discard your hand, draw 7.
Yeah, that's a beautiful full art professor's research there. Let's see some of the cards that were discarded. Of course, both of those Archeops, one of the Iono and an Urn of Vitality as well. V-Guard energy going down onto the active Lugia V. as well. And then we just have a fresh 7-card hand here for Rahul. A lot of energy from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I mean, a typical Lugia hand. As we read the wind, being able to discard a card and draw 3, that means we're back now to Jesse Parker's turn.
All right, Jesse Parker, after just read the wind here from Rahul, is able to run away with these lightning attackers again. And now we can start getting into some evolutions, into that Flaaffy potentially. Not sure what is in the hand. Well, there's a Flaaffy. Coming down here, the little sheep has joined the field. All right, so, Mesagoza, and it is a heads as well. So Rahul's Stadium being put into play, but Jesse is going to be able to utilize that as well, grabbing another Pokemon out of the deck.
Yep, I'm curious what he's going to opt to find here. Looks like it's going to be the Squawkabilly.
Yeah, Tandem Unit only allowing you to get electric Pokemon. Squawkabilly is not electric, but just thinning that out.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like Lumineon was the play here. We got to talk to Jesse a little bit backstage, and something he made note of is thanks to a beach court tech into his deck, it allows him to play a lot more of these consistency Pokemon. Like the Lumineon, like the Squawkabilly, as opposed to if he just fully played Path of the Peak
as well.
Yes. So looks like it's coming into play here. Finding the Lumineon, it means gets to find any supporter card there. Probably a research just to discard the Squawkabilly as well. Let's see here. Again, all he needs here is to be able to attach to that Raikou, retreat, and I believe because of weakness, should be able to knock out the Lugia V. Let me...
I love seeing this. I feel like we have not casted a match like this yet, Wancho, where we just see research, discard your entire hand, draw another 7 cards, grind through these decks, giant Pokemon hitting giant Pokemon. This is big in the Pokemon TCG for sure, and it's a good change of pace, I think, for us, Wancho.
100%. I just like not having to say flower selecting, probably.
I'm sure you're so over that. All right, we're going to see, looks like debating the retreat here from the Miraidon EX, switching into that Raikou V, but actually he's going to try to opt to take it back? Yeah,
it looks like he was trying to retreat into the Raikou V, but Raikou V only has 1 energy attached. Yeah. He has to activate Dynamotor first to be able to attach energy to the Raikou, because Dynamotor only attaches to the bench there. Unfortunately, being forced to retreat here, wasting an energy attachment and an energy.
Oh, no. So just a little bit of mis-sequencing here from Jesse, unfortunately. I'm sure a lot of nerves here, and also being on the stream is also difficult as well. But we do have a Forest Seal Stone, maybe a saving grace here for Jesse Parker, being able to use a V-Star power ability, the Star Alchemy, to get any single card in the deck and hopefully find something to rescue him from the situation.
Yeah, it's kind of a waste of a V-Star power, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do because he has already paid to retreat. You can't retreat twice in a turn.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, he's looking for a switch card. So
I think that's exactly what he grabbed, Wancho.
Yeah.
Switch card will allow that switch out, but unfortunately, that's going to be the Forest Seal Stone. You can only use 1 V-Star power per game, so it is gone. But that Flaaffy is going to use the Dynamotor ability to charge up that energy. Now it has enough here. Of course, utilizing that fleet-footed ability as well. Now the Raikou V is in the active position. Draw an extra card. And we're rolling here with some Raikou V action. Electric Pokemon versus electric weak Pokemon Lugia V. It is knocked out here. 2 prize cards down now for Jesse Parker. And we're over to Rahul's side of the field.
Yep, there it is. We do get, he does get the Lugia V-Star, and there's 2 Archeops in the discard pile. Name a better combination, because Summoning Star coming up finds himself both the Archeops, heads on the Mesagoza as well. I wonder what else Rahul's going to need in this position. Definitely a backup Pokemon after this Lugia.
Oh, and you see that Stonjourner coming to the front here, and that is going to be the grab here from Rahul Reddy. This is the tech that we have talked about, Wancho, so far. This is the scary card for Jesse Parker.
No, definitely a single prize Pokemon that is fighting type, and you know what? It can hit big numbers. And you know what? It's Rahul was just hit by weakness. I think it's Jesse's turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Archeops going to go into the deck here with that Primal Turbo, allow for some energy attachment here, and we see that energy coming down onto the Stonjourner. So as soon as we see a pivot into that Stonjourner is going to be doing some major damage here to that fighting weak Raikou V.
Yes, definitely something of note as well is Rahul is just really prepping the board, right? If you notice, a bunch of gift energies on both these Pokemon. That means after either of them are knocked out, he can refill his hand there. It's looking good, but right now that means he has to have the another attachment for the Stonjourner, I believe. Or let me double check here. Yeah, I think he still needs one attachment.
I don't think he's attached from hand yet. So, no, I mean, he can attach to the Lugia as well.
That is true.
Right?
Oh, no, excuse me. There is the Land Pulse attack 30 plus 30. It's 60 with 1 damage modifier.
Yes,
you need 2.
there you go.
There we
2 damage modifiers. That is enough now to take that knockout with the Stonjourner. Raikou V gonna go down. That's 2 prize cards here for Rahul. So reacting back, prize cards to prize cards for both of these players, tying things up here. 4 prize cards left for both. Miraidon EX gonna join us in the active position here from Jesse Parker. Where do you think we go from here, Wancho?
Jesse Parker is behind on energy attachments, right? He missed an energy attachment on the first turn. He missed an electric generator, and he had to detach an energy for the retreat cost that he didn't really need to retreat. So he's lacking here. He needs to be able to at least get maybe the other electric generator or maybe set up another Raikou, because Miraidon EX requires 3 energies to attack.
That's a lot.
And again, you're only hitting into a Stonjourner, right? You're only going to take 1 prize here. You're going to lose your momentum, as I believe that was just 10. No, that was an Ultra Ball grabbing another Miraidon, I believe. And again, I just have to wonder what else he has to work. He doesn't have the V-Star to work with. This might be... Oh, no, there we go. We do get the Raikou. So we still could potentially attack here, but then you're giving up 2 prizes.
Yeah, I think it's really unfortunate. I mean, this is exactly what Rahul wants to see as well. Even though kind of having a difficult matchup on paper, I know that Rahul's said that he's beaten several Miraidons. So it's definitely possible, and that's how things are starting to shape up here for Rahul.
Definitely. You know, the Pokemon trading card game is not as one-dimensional as, you know, some might think. Just because you're hitting for weakness doesn't mean that your deck is necessarily weak to a certain deck. That's why you can opt to play techs like these Stonjourners or play in a certain way to really swing some of these matchups. As I believe, again, just energy attached onto the Raikou. Big research as well. Dumping that Raichu too, that's something that might come up. But again, you don't have too much energy in play. I'm not sure how much Raichu can help out.
Yeah. How many energy do we have in the discard pile, though? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 energy in the discard pile. Rahul getting a quick look at that as well, keeping track of the resources so far that Jesse has used.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder what's in Jesse's hand here. Does he find the last electric generator? He needs also a switch card, by the way, or the beach court we mentioned earlier.
I know, and I can't see the hands either, just slightly out of view here for me, Wancho. It's difficult, but that Dynamotor from the Flaaffy able to accelerate at least 1 of those energy from the discard pile here to that Raikou. And here we go, the tech that Jesse Parker says is better than Path to the Peak in this Miraidon deck. Beach Court, allowing you to bump this Mesagoza out of here. And the retreat cost of any basic Pokemon is now 1 less. So just a quick retreat into that Raikou V. We still have the fleet-footed as well from the Raikou. And Jesse can get back online here with some hits. Ooh. The Bravery Charm.
Bravery Charm could help out because, again, Lugia does a max damage out of 220. That means Rahul is going to have to find something else to knock out this Raikou potentially. And it's going to be Lightning Rondo for the knockout.
Yep, that's just going to be 1 prize card there, and it was that Flying Pikachu V for Jesse Parker, going down to only 3 prize cards left. This match is going quick, Wancho, and that's exactly how I expected it to go.
Definitely big, powerful V Pokemon hitting each other back and forth, giving multiple prizes. It's been a while since the Pokemon trading card game has been like this, I think.
I don't know about that, but yeah, we had tag teams, so those were even bigger, I suppose. But yeah, just talking about the Bravery Charm too, I was talking to Chip, and Chip was saying like, yo, that card is just really good in this deck. And I have to agree, that was an incredible inclusion into the Miraidon, and Andrew Mahone was able to showcase how well that worked for him at Worlds, and kind of putting Miraidon on the map. That's the reason Miraidon was played so heavily here in Pittsburgh as well, and now it's made it to this point here, piloted by Jesse Parker. Of course, a different version of the deck, but still seeing so much success here.
100%. And hey, you know what? It's so good that you're just not going to hit into the Raikou. We don't have what it takes to deal with it just yet.
Yes.
That's why the Lumineon was played. Luminous Sign, finding the boss's orders, multiple targets on the bench, either the Lumineon, maybe Miraidon. Looks like it is going to be the Lumineon, and that's something we can definitely hit for knockout.
Yep.
And as long as we're taking 2 prizes every turn, Rahul should be set to be able to win this game. Needs to be able maybe to set up the Tyranitar to be able to knock out the Raikou with 250 HP. And yeah, Bravery Charm, just so powerful. It technically turns Miraidon EX into V-Star levels of HP.
Yeah.
And you can even hit it with Choice Belt, for example. It's definitely something.
It's beefy, very beefy. I think that's the first time we've seen that artwork of the boss's orders too. Super pretty card here. Yep, that Lumineon being brought up into the active here. As you said, Wancho, just getting these prize cards turn after turn here. And that's scary if Rahul's in a position to take this game away from Jesse.
Definitely, but again, after this turn, though, I don't quite see another boss's orders in hand. Oh,
yeah.
Did he draw one off the prizes?
I
I believe he did. I
think he did.
He would have
Wait,
drawn
let's see.
boss's orders and a Tyranitar, both cards
Yes,
that are
it's in
very
the hands
important.
now. It is in the hand.
So now Jesse here has to be able to either disrupt the hand, or we could be going into a game 2. We know Jesse is playing two copies of Iono, 1 copy of Judge. But we'll have to see.
Tandem unit going into the deck, just going to be a shuffle here for Jesse Parker. Yeah, we'll have to see what this turn turns into here. Did you get a look at the hands at all? I feel like Jesse has been keeping those cards so close
to the chest. I'm pretty sure I've seen a Pikachu.
Oh my gosh, I can't see anything he's drawing. Yes, just one draw off of that fleet-footed from the Raikou V because it's in that active position.
Does have the boss's orders in hand. I think that's the only supporter I see, but I don't think you go for the boss's orders here. You need disruption. There's an energy attachment.
I don't see any supporters, I think, in that hand.
Yeah, again, I think
there's 2 escape ropes, but yeah, we're just going to see that Dynamotor, at least for now here, attaching to just the Zapdos on the bench here.
Yeah, I mean, you could attack with the Zapdos. I believe it does 110 damage. That is damage onto the... Yeah, Electric Ball does 110 damage. It's not enough to knock out Lugia. It's enough to knock out Lumineon, though. But again, we know for a fact Rahul has boss in hand. Let's see what else happens here. There's the boss's orders.
There's the boss here. Going to bring
onto
up...
the Archeops.
Oh, an Archeops here into the active. I think it's just gonna take out that Archeops to draw another prize card, but now we're gonna be back over to Rahul's side of the field.
Now that I have to think about it, taking down that Archeops, I think, was such a big play. That means Rahul doesn't have that easy energy acceleration onto potentially Tyranitar to power it up. And now Lugia, because it has that double turbo energy, he can't knock out Miraidon. Miraidon has 220 HP. Big play here by Jesse. I want to see how Rahul responds. Plays the Ultra Ball, the best art for Ultra Ball, by the way.
I know, these cards are very pretty here. Yep, just going to play that Ultra Ball, discard it too, and looking through the deck now for another Pokemon out of the deck. Again, so just mapping out the turns here.
Yeah, again, the turn should have been so easy, but then the knockout on the Archeops, so big. Now Rahul can only accelerate 2 energy from the deck. Might have to just disrupt the hand here. Might have to just Lumineon for the Iono themselves. The great equalizer, leaving Rahul and Jesse with only 2 cards a pop.
Yep, spreading out that bench, though, we're going to have a full bench here. That Tyranitar V coming down now from Rahul. I'm sure before the Iono happens here. See if there's any other cards. Maybe looking for just an energy attachment here as well. for the turn.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if you attach the energy onto the Tyranitar. That means you're gonna have to accelerate energy onto the. Oh no, Lumineon has free retreat thanks to the beach cord. Yes, so you're just gonna go ahead and accelerate energy onto the Tyranitar itself.
Oh,
that
no.
means it's ready for the next turn. It's just lacking one energy. If Rahul just had access to maybe something like a double turbo work, but yeah, if he had access to one more energy, he wins this game. But he's gonna have to depend on Iono. And possibly retreat onto the Archeops, forcing Jesse to find a boss's orders themselves.
Oh my gosh, it is coming down to the wire here, Wancho. Things really turned around here. The knockout of that Archeops was huge for that turn, and Jesse knew exactly what to do there. So this has really turned around here. We're going to have to see what else Rahul does here. Of course, the Iono is going to be played next. Nothing else coming out of the hands. Both players shuffling their hands. It's going to go to the bottom of the deck here, and they each get just 2 cards. Going to be a Lightning Energy and another Beach Court here for Jesse. Let's see what Rahul's going to draw into.
Yeah, again, just retreats onto the Archeops. It's going to be a pass. Jesse has to draw into a boss's orders, and he can win this turn. Fleet-footed and electric generator, I believe, so he doesn't have a way to win this turn, but he does have access to potentially retreating to the Zapdos that he did power up earlier. An Electric Ball does knock out an Archeops, and then it's going to be up to Rahul to find the boss's orders.
It's going turn for turn, Wancho. I mean, we talked about both of these decks just slugging back and forth here, but this is just not slugging back and forth, almost just stalling back and forth and trying to hit the cards you need at this point.
Sometimes that's the Pokemon trading card game. You just can't follow a typical flow chart at times. Sometimes, yes, you can just go, I'll attack with my usual attackers, but you know, sometimes there are scenarios where, hey, you know what, I'm going to have to attack with this Zapdos from Pokemon Go, and it leaves me some leeway.
Oh my gosh, there's about to be another whiff, another electric generator whiff. Oh, I'm sure Jesse's going to be hoping that doesn't happen in a game 2 between these players, that's for sure.
100%, but again, right now, Jesse still, I believe Hope is still alive. The Dynamotor ability hasn't been used just yet, or they haven't attached an energy yet for turn as well. But I'm sure they wanted to at least thin out the deck, get energy out of the deck for sure, or maybe even set up Miraidon potentially. Oop, almost attached the wrong Pokemon there.
Nope, attaching there to that Zapdos here into Professor's Research. That's going to allow Jesse to draw into another 7 cards. Honestly, working off of just 2 cards from an Iono, and now we have another 7 here into that Professor's Research. That is somewhere you definitely want to be here, not stalled out whatsoever.
Exactly, and right now I'm pretty sure Jesse is just thinking to himself, oh, looks like he opts to find themselves the Flying Pikachu V. In my mind, I was like, oh, maybe you dropped the Raichu. Raichu typically with the dynamic spark attack is a great late game attacker, but again, with energy so sparse, maybe this is what you have to go for. Oh, wait, that was escape rope onto the Tyranitar. Unfortunately, I don't think is this a knockout? Oh, it's a knockout because of the Zapdos from Pokemon Go that adds 10 extra damage. Absolutely huge weight. Again, Raikou does a base damage of 20 plus 20 for each bench. With a full bench, you're doing 220. Typically, that is the cap. But thanks to the Pokemon Go, the Zapdos from Pokemon Go, it makes it 230, which is just enough to knock out.
The whole time we were talking about every single Pokemon out there, Wancho, except for that Zapdos on the bench with that incredible ability there. That is epic, and Jesse Parker is going to take this game 1 here, heading into a game 2, I'm sure, feeling pretty good. We have our players here right before the match started, how they were feeling, and now Jesse has up a game, and Rahul has to pick things up in this game 2.
Yes, again, I think both Rahul just being able to play this game to make it this close is absolutely amazing in my opinion. Again, Jesse Parker, despite a couple of misplays, well, one big misplay, meaning he lacks the energy, and whiffing a couple of energies with the electric generator, was still able to pick this up. maybe this this matchup is a little bit lopsided. Maybe the electric weakness is definitely important.
No, it's very lopsided for sure. But I mean, speaking of it being lopsided still, it's just funny that you mentioned whiffing the electric generators, because I think that entire time Jesse only attached one single lightning energy with like 3 electric generators, and still took this game. So yeah, I could say, you could say it's definitely a little lopsided, but you can also tell Rahul knows how to play this matchup as well. As long as things go pretty well. I mean, we did see those Archeops come out as soon, really, as they possibly could, and everything was kind of going swimmingly, but Miraidon just has the edge here.
Again, gotta give it up to Rahul. He's still smiling. He did lose this first match, but he's not given up. I love the positivity that he brings to the Pokemon trading card game. And you know what? This game is still far, far from over. Again, it's going to be a matter of setup. I'm curious to see if Rahul opts to go first here, as we're looking at the prizes. Big prize, the Stonjourner, the probably, some would say, besides Lugia and the Archeops, the most important card in this matchup.
Well, yeah, definitely for this matchup, but it's going to be in the prize cards here for Rahul. Unfortunately, that's the single copy in the deck, but we're getting into our Masters top 8 here going into this game 2.
All right, looks like Jesse Parker is going to start us off. That means Rahul actually very smartly deciding that, hey, you know what, I'm going to go second. Miraidon is known for being able to get those big attacks going on the first turn anyway. Might as well give myself the biggest opportunity with possibly a supporter. Giving myself...
No, I think Rahul actually went first and just drew past Wancho.
No.
That's exactly what happened just now. Yeah, this is Jesse going second here, which means access to a supporter card for the turn as well, on top of whatever else is in this hand here for Jesse. And I see a lot of cards that are usable so far. I at least saw a couple of ball cards in here. We're working with the ball card right now, the Nest Ball, to draw out a Pokemon. I think it was that Miraidon now going back in with the tandem unit, and it's going to be that incredibly important Zapdos and the little sheep as well.
Yes,
little sheep Mareep.
Very, very important single prize Pokemon. But now Jesse is going second. He has the capability here to just take 2 prizes right off the bat. It's just that he has to get a little bit lucky with those electric generators. Looking at his hand, I don't think he has a way to draw just yet, but we know for a fact he has a couple of Pokemon that can help him out. Or maybe he has a research, and maybe he's grabbing this Drapion to send to the discard pile. But yeah, we know he has a couple of cards, a couple of support cards that are great going second, like the Squawkabilly, which you're able to discard your hand, draw 6, or maybe even your Lumineon if you need a supporter. But yeah, here we go. Right now, the Raikous are already in the active, so he might have to power up something like the Miraidon EX if he wants to be able to attack this turn. Even Zapdos can take a knockout on the Lugia V in theory.
Yeah, I just want to find any way to get a knockout as soon as possible here if you're Jesse Parker, for sure. And since this is the first turn, we also have the Squawkabilly EX as well, the bird on the other side of the field flying in here with that squawk and seize, allowing you to discard your hand here and draw 6 cards if you're using it on your very first turn. Ooh. So it's coming in here into a brand new 6 cards for Jesse Parker.
Very, very big draw there. I saw a couple of electric generators. Ooh, there's already 3 energies from that draw. Fortunately, you can only accelerate 2, but hey, that's 2 more than last time.
This is exactly what you want to see if you're Jesse Parker. And honestly, after whiffing so many electric generators in the last game, Jesse deserves these generators at this point. Both those energies going on to the Raikou V here on the bench. I believe fleet-footed on that active Raikou hasn't even been used yet. And we've just seen so many cards already thanks to that Squawkabilly and so many playable cards in the starting hand here. Tandem unit gets your Pokemon. Squawkabilly draws you an entirely new hand here, and now electric generator number 2 is coming out. Can we see anything again?
That's the electric generator we know.
Unfortunately, yes.
But luckily, the 2 was very important there onto the
Absolutely.
Raikou. And now all that's missing is the retreat. And he does have a knockout here on the Lugia V. He hasn't attached yet for turn. And I believe he hasn't even played a supporter yet. That was the Squawk and Seize ability. So let's see if he has anything else to play. Does have the energy in hand, has Iono Research, going to be an energy attachment to the Raikou and the active, guaranteeing the fact that it can retreat this turn. Big research here, draws 7. Let's see what they find. Yeah, I would love to see the beach court again, just because he's really been talking up that stadium.
Yeah.
The fact that he plays this beach court again led to great success in this tournament.
I just cannot believe how many cards we have seen, and this is just the first turn here for Jesse as well. And I think Rahul at least has a professor's research I see in the hand here. Oh, and 2 Archeops as well. So even though just having to draw and pass, still has some cards to be working with here, but Jesse has just a completely established board state here, and now the Bravery Charm is joining the field on that Raikou V.
2 amazing tool cards on this turn. A V-Star Power and extra HP. These are great to have, and now Rahul does have a clear way to knock out this